Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. First up, we have a governance update. Past proposals include CP164, which is the Dow Marketing Q4 2025 pilot funding. We have Jana here in the call who will talk more about what's happening very shortly. We also had a past proposal in the CP168, which was the new renewal for the Treasury Advisory Group funding. Proposals that were rejected due to not reaching the quorum of 4 million CFG was enable protocol revenue through CNF managed fee flows.
What?
So that's something we're going to have to think about what to do there. So currently active, CP170, which is, we'll also talk about in this call, which is the withdrawal of Centrifuge DAO's CFD liquidity from hydration. Ivan will talk to that. And we have a new Treasury proposal, CP169, retroactive compensation request for 3 years of active participation. So on the agenda so far for the call, we have first up an update from the RWA Summit with Maria. Feel free to share.
Yeah, I think it's not only from the summit itself, but generally just wanted to update how things are. 1 second, I'll share the screen. Okay, I'll be there. Slideshow. Does it work? Let me know.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, guys. So, I mean, the summit itself is a great opportunity to measure the temperature of how Centrifuge is doing. And I think this year we've got so much attention, so much things to discuss, and so many people approaching us with ideas, with collaborations, with partnerships, or like just initial discussions, or even more advanced. And right now the team is in Singapore, and I just had a brief chat with Baji, and she said that like this is also a really great opportunity to meet everyone, and we see that our plan that we have, and it's on the slide, is really showing the benefits and showing the results. So for like general understanding what we're doing right now, and like all these announcements that are coming out of Centrifuge are not really like random. They are very much connected, even though there are a lot of them. And you guys, especially those who are like following the governance and community channels, you can see that like it's quite often that we are saying about some partnerships. But the general framework that we're building towards is that we want to build and deliver the holistic system and holistic go-to-market strategy. So the idea is that we have the tokenization rails, we have the tech. This is the first thing. The second thing, we're able, together with Anemoy, the asset issuer branch, to launch the on-chain products that will be in collaboration with the best asset managers, with the best partners, institutions, and provide like high quality access to funds. And then the third ingredient is pretty much making sure that this is not just the tokenization for tokenization's sake, but also something that works and something that provides value to broader audience and users. So this is where we meet DeFi, and this was a very big part of conversations and things that we shaped recently. So just to like showcase that, like we worked on new funds, we did a lot of integrations, and this also means that we get better accessibility for CFG by showcasing that the Centrifuge in general is solid, legit, and really is on the track to win big portion of market. So if you see the recent things that we just did, we announced that the first S&P 500 index fund, the first tokenized version, is now live. So this is really huge because this is the first time the market sees this type of indices product on chain. And pretty much the biggest thing with this is that it's officially licensed by S&P Dow Jones Indices. So that means that Centrifuge and Anemoy went through very, very rigorous due diligence, and we had a lot of people looking into our tech, into how we structure things, how we work as a team, and we got this credibility proof, which is great. But also, we are able to provide like very unique and first ever on the market product. Then you just recently saw that we announced JAAA CLO. Again, I think Centrifuge just was quite on some radars because we won the tokenization Grand Prix last year, and that was with the Treasury fund. But what you can see right now is that like we're really moving up the yield curve, and we're offering unique products that like either no one has yet, or like pretty few players are exploring that. So one of this is Janus Henderson Anemoid AAA CLO fund. So collateralized loan obligations is not something that the market offers because Janus Henderson has the largest collateralized loan obligations fund like off chain, and now they brought this off chain, and now they brought it on chain. So that means that this is also some kind of next wave of funds that we can offer through Centrifuge Tech. And the most recent announcement was Anemoy tokenized Apollo Diversified Credit Fund. And a lot of people might ask like what this is, how this works, and why. But I think you will also observe how this fund works on chain, and how it provides availability through our DeFi version soon. So we're just starting, and yeah, it's again a big sign of trust and credibility from Apollo in this case. On the next like ingredient proof, we've just done integrations of our DRAA version of those specific funds, either JAAA or JTRSY, the Treasury fund that were live. And right now the S&P 500 is live, so the D version should be coming also like pretty much soon. And the integrations that we already did are with EVM channels, blockchains, and also Stellar and also Solana. And we were also part of big announcement by Horizon that our funds are included as collateral in their new real world asset market. So as you see that what we are trying to do is not just issue the funds, get them as the yield source for projects, but also make them work in DeFi as collateral, make them accessible to wider audience, and integrate and use the best what we have in Centrifuge, which is being multi-chain, like showcasing how we can operate on different chains, not only EVM, but also other. And of course, that also was a great result in getting CFG accessibility on a high level. We're integrated with exchanges, tier one exchanges recently, which provided very good access for those who are following CFG and Centrifuge, and who are following our recent successes. So congrats team. I think the trajectory that we're taking is making sure that we're not just doing tokenization, making sure that we're not just doing specific things on asset management side, but also creating the next financial structures and next financial world, let's say. Of course, it's still a long way to go, but I think our recent wins are showing that Centrifuge is really leading the way in this. Thanks, and happy to answer any questions if there are any. And I don't think they're, oh, maybe in the chat. One-page infographics. Oh, okay, that's not to me. We're also fans. Thanks. Okay, guys, that's it from my side. You can also reach to me if you have any questions, always. And yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Maria. Super interesting. Super interesting update. And we'll pass over to Jana for the update on the DAO marketing side of things.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. By the way, that's like a really long list of things that happened since the last governance call. So props to the whole Centrifuge team for shipping at an insane speed. And even like the listing announcements, I just been here in chat, like, if you look at the trading volumes, like the two new exchanges are already at the top of the charts. So it like very much shows that the listings are happening at a time when there's actually like demand for the token. So that's really cool to see. And also a very good time to come in and try to help boost some of those marketing efforts on the decentralized end of the spectrum of the Centrifuge ecosystem. So first of all, thank you for the trust and passing that proposal and allocating that funding. I think, that's like a great milestone. And, we don't take that lightly. So working hard here to deliver on what we promised and, have the best interest of the token holders in heart when doing so. I think one of the first things for me to share with the group here is you might remember in the proposal as part of the funding, we mentioned we would be bringing on a coordinator to help execute some of the creative content and the KOL management piece. And that person is here with us today. It's Dan. So I'll let him say a quick hello. And, he actually joined a week ago. So he onboarded incredibly quickly. And we already put together some initial KOL outreach that he was, instrumental in putting together. So I'll just hand over the mic to him for a second just to say a quick hi. And then we can go over the other things that we're cooking up with the marketing task force.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here, and I'm glad to join the team. And when I first discovered Centrifuge, the first thing that struck me is like why nobody's talking about it. Like honestly, there is so much happening and so much really exciting updates, and I will try to spread the word and help to spread the word and help the project to reach more people. And yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. For everybody who's keeping a track of where around the world people on this call are, Dan is far away. He's in Bangkok. So doing the time zone juggle here. Thanks for staying up late. Cool. So yeah, as I mentioned, the KOL outreach began. So hopefully we can move to a stage where we like determine the conditions of the collaboration. And what we will be doing is making sure that whenever there's like standout content, we want the DAO group to have visibility as well. So we'll be sharing some of the links so that you all can also see what is being published out there, but also that you can engage. I know that, the content should be actually something interesting as well. So we'll definitely be sharing that on for everyone here. So that's the update on the KOL piece. There are a few more items to the marketing pilot. One of them is a refresh of a website, whether that's the foundation or the centrifuge. That work stream has not kicked off just yet. We're waiting for freeing up of the design resource, but I think we're going to be able to start tackling that later this month. And then the other piece is like an improvement of transparency reporting, again, as a way of like appraising the wider community and sharing not necessarily only updates on the token and the governance front, but also on the wider ecosystem front, and kind of like bundling those two. So the leadership of the foundation and the Centrifuge team are taking that on board. It is shaping out to be a quarterly transparency reporting in some sort of like digestible format that it's friendly to digital consumption. So more to come on that later, but this is something that is being developed as we speak. And then you might have noticed already the day-to-day conversation amongst all of us here involved in the DAO is moving from Slack to a token-gated Telegram channel. So I would just like to call on those who have not migrated from Slack to Telegram just yet. Hopefully it can give us a space for everybody to be able to share ideas, but also, updates and just like engage on a day-to-day basis. So a few moving pieces, but this is just like the high-level update of what's happened since the proposal passing. So again, thank you. And then if anybody wants to reach out to chat, we're all in Telegram. You find me under Yana B.
Thank you, Yana. Great update. Any questions? I think you were pretty complete. Oh, Ryan.
Sorry, Kate, just a quick one. In terms of the KOLs that are going to be involved in the actual marketing campaign, how do I like put in an application, I guess?
So your application has already been put in, Ryan. So you're in our set. I think like give us another week or so
Okay,
to shape
yeah.
out the complete makeup.
Ping me
And
anytime. Whenever you need me to chat or give input, anything to do to help, just ping me.
awesome. Awesome. I know that there's also some talks about ambassadors and wider plans cooking up. So give us another week to finalize things on our end at least.
Okay, thank you. Let's move to the hydration liquidity withdrawal.
Yeah, happy to talk about it. So basically, this is a proposal to withdraw stacked funds on hydration chain. We provided in the last 2 years, we provided in 2 separate batch. In total, 1,250,000 CFG. So I think that around 2 months ago, hydration team decided to stop the trading on their platform, and right now our funds are stuck at there. So this proposal just to get back what the DAO provided as a liquidity to hydration team. This technical proposal, so it will follow up with on-chain voting, but basically this is just the withdrawal of funds that Centrifuge DAO provided.
Great. And do the people here need to do anything?
No, this is not about, I mean, everyone who contributed in liquidity bootstrap on hydration, they also right now have their funds in their wallets on hydration, so they can withdraw them by themselves. But since that this is funds provided by the DAO, so this should be a referendum on chain voting for withdrawal back, because we don't have any wallet for perform that action.
Cool. Thank you for the update.
Okay.
Ryan, do you want to address your proposal?
Yeah, so thanks for giving me a couple minutes, Kate. I just wanted to say that, I didn't know that CP170 was the hydration thing. I just looked at the forum and saw 168 was the last, so I just put mine for 169. But and happy to amend whatever I need to do. So I thought long and hard about, you had made a suggestion, and then Cesar pointed out something that I didn't even think about, that like we don't do retroactive things, so like maybe the whole thing was moot. Effectively, what I was saying was that, it goes. I'm sure people know after 3 years, I'm deeply interested in Centrifuge and seeing it succeed. I want to do whatever I can. I've done a number of things over the years to try and do that, which I talk about in the background. It wasn't a very formally or well-written proposal. I've been doing it off and on the last few days, probably up to a week. I just wanted to put it up before we actually had the chance to meet. And so I'm saying would be an off-chain vote, because even though I got the ADE guys, which you remember were building something that they wanted to build on Centrifuge, we had gotten the vote to go through, and it was the first tranche of funding for 250,000 CFG tokens. I since talked to the ADE guys, and they said they were okay with giving it back because, they didn't want to have any bad blood between Centrifuge. They understood that a lot of it was because the token migration happened over to EVM, so most people weren't voting and didn't vote on that proposal. And so it's now sitting in a multi-sig. So these are effectively funds that have already been spent out of the treasury in some sense, and they're just awaiting transition back to the treasury wallet, which I'm sure will be migrated before the November 30th deadline. So having thought about what you had said, Kate, the suggestion of doing something for like a retroactive kind of
Sorry, just to
compensation.
clarify, I don't think I made a suggestion.
Okay, I think it's how you said something like, when we see a proposal for retroactive whatever in the last meeting, which is fine. I'm not saying that either which way. So I just thought about it. I wanted to sort of increase sort of my skin in the game, if you will. I'd have, roughly 20,000 Centrifuge tokens. I thought if I could get more, then I would be, I'd be able to increase my voting power and whatnot. And, I'm totally open to the amount. If it seems too far-fetched or too high based on like what I earn, if people think that that's too much to give away, that's fine. You could say it's zero and we just shut this down. We send it all back to the treasury to begin with, and that's fine too. But I just wanted to at least start a discussion, see if this is something that the community wanted to do, to pay for, some of the efforts that I've made across those 3 years. If that is, the vote is no, then that's totally fine too. I mean, I'm willing to accept that. I at least wanted to just throw it out there as an idea and see what the voters thought.
Thank you. Okay, comments, questions? Cesar.
I can chime in. Hello, everybody, and thanks for the proposal, Ryan. I think I have been here for like 1.5 years, and you have been around here more, and your contributions are obvious. But on the other case, I remember that we discussed this internally before putting on the DAO, asking the comments for DAO. It was like we analyzed best practices of retroactive funding, and then we decided, in order to protect the treasury and also in order to protect the user spending efforts. So in the end, the decision was, okay, retrospective fundings doesn't apply for Centrifuge Treasury, at least in the current status. Meanwhile, I don't think it's really possible unless DAO decides to vice versa and change something. But currently, I think we are not able to do that. But I would highly encourage you to put a proposal before you take actions, and then move forward with it for the further action.
Yeah, it's fine. Totally understood. Like I said, I didn't realize that that was actually part of the CP process. And on top of it, like I also thought this was a strange situation insofar as these are funds that aren't in the treasury per se, right? That they've already been spent out of the treasury. And like I said, I have no interest in selling them anyhow. I'm very much a long-term holder and believer in what Centrifuge is building. So again, that's fine. I mean, whether if this is no, it's not going to happen. Okay, understood.
I think the
Yeah.
comment there is that it's already been governed, that this is not a process that we do, just for reference. Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions before we close it out?
I'm trying to raise my hand, but I don't seem to find the button today. I don't know what happened. So just speaking out loud here. I think like Ryan, like I think it depends a little bit on like what is the ultimate objective of your proposal. If it's to increase your voting power, I think like, there's also a way to just ask for delegation, right? So that would kind of like satisfy both ends, right? That the treasury wouldn't be spending, right? Because the delegation is not money out, but it is still increasing the voting power, right? So something along the lines of, long-standing like contributors, right? Essentially like get a leg up in their contributions in the DAO. So that's something to consider as well.
No, yeah, totally. We had previous conversations about doing a delegate program. I'm sure that goes back, I don't know, 6, 8 months ago or something like that. We had some, yeah, that'd be a great idea. And I know that we're probably trying to sort that out for what that looks like on the EVM side, because it's a very different process when we were using all the Polkadot tech stack stuff. So, but yeah, no, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, and I'm happy to jam on that together as well, because delegate programs could be like a good way to voice to different actors. So Christian, I see you have a raised hand.
Hi everyone. My name is Christian. Obviously, it's my first call. I just want to introduce myself to the wider community. So I've spoken to Ivan the last couple of weeks. I've spoken to Baji also last week, and I've got a call set up with next week. I'm kind of from London and looking to really just contribute to the community anywhere I can. My handle in X is abracadabra, so I've been posting a few comments around educational of what Centrifuge is doing and the things that I think I might help with in the future. So it's really for me to say hello to everyone, and I will be participating more and more in this call and learn from you guys who've been within the ecosystem. I've been following Centrifuge for a very long time, so obviously since the Polkadot days, and I'm a token holder as well, but I wanted to be more active as I see that the protocol is really getting into its growth phase, and all hands will be on deck to try to push things forward.
Welcome, Christian. Yeah, just maybe you can talk about your background, what you are doing in UK, and how you can be helpful for Centrifuge.
Yeah, so my background is in TradFi, so I work for in investment management here in London, and my role is in advisory and consulting. So we worked with various operation teams to help them onboard new assets. So currently I'm working on a project around private markets to see how we can get more private market within the investment management sphere. I've got experience in consulting, worked for Ernst & Young beforehand, and worked for Bloomberg, as well as another asset management called Schroders in London. So my experience is really trying to bring maybe some of the bottleneck that I see in TradFi and see how DeFi can try to synergize or solve some of these problems, and also push on the education side. And I've got a couple of sessions that I've attended in London around consulting and digital assets, and I'm attending a session at the House of Lords in 2 weeks' time, where we're promoting education within blockchain in London. Most of you guys who are in the US is slightly kind of it be further along the curve when it comes to regulation and so on. London is catching up. For some reason, we've been lagging very much behind in the last couple of years, but hopefully things are changing slowly, and we see kind of the regulation is being kind of more open to digital assets. And I think London will try to reclaim some of the people that Dubai stole from us, but until then, we are kind of working along to educate lawmakers, educate people within our firms, and kind of community in and around digital assets.
Oh, impressive. Thank you so much, Christian.
Thanks, Christian, and welcome to the community. So, okay, that is all of our items on the agenda. Unless there's any last words, we'll wrap up now. Okay, I'm going to stop. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just one more thing, Kate. Thank you. Well, because we had so many, cool updates that we covered in terms of what happened in the past, I don't know, 6 weeks since the last community call, right, that Maria went over at the beginning. I think there are some cool things cooking up as well. We can't like fully preview everything that's being worked on, but I think that Ivan might be able to give us like a couple of just like very small sneak peeks on some of the like, areas that are being discussed at Centrifuge right now on the technical roadmap. I wouldn't necessarily call these breaking news, but I think it's still always good to give you some sort of like preview of, possibly news that we might be sharing in the next call in more of an official capacity.
Okay. Would you like to share them now on the next call?
I don't know. How much can we share today? I know that we were trying to get some of the technical leads in this call today, but it's a little bit hard with the
Yeah, I mean, like, if you
2049 happening.
That's true. I mean, but if you check like the Centrifuge GitHub, which is like completely open, you might to find that Centrifuge is building something that is called Centrifuge Scan. I would say that probably that's something related to Explorer, Blockchain Explorer. I think that team is like working really hard. That I don't know the exact date when that will be launched, but I would expect probably soon. And yeah, about the context, so we are always looking for the ambassador, for example, like Christian, people who is definitely supporting Centrifuge for a long time, people mature with like being knowledge in certain area, DeFi, TradFi, whatever. So if you knew anyone who can support us or would like to become an ambassador, so we are always looking forward to onboard more people.
Great, thank you, Ivan.
Thanks so much. I also want to give shout out to Eli5. I see that, I don't know if I'm butchering your name, sorry about that. Because I know that we reached out in DMs, so thank you for joining today.
Okay, I'll stop the recording and people can hang out here and chat a bit if they like. Thanks everyone. That was the Centrifuge Governance Call 37.